Hello there everybody, I'm WaitWhat, and I'm back with more Yousei. And before we start a new game to get another ending, first we're going to go into Preferences, Extras, we're going to give me a phone charm, and we're going to give Lee May glasses. You unlock these by getting the endings, and I've unlocked those two so far. So yeah, now we're going to start a game and get the twins ending. But I'm going to skip this so you don't have to. But look at that. That's my phone charm. Nice. And Lee May is wearing glasses. Nice. First response. Could you not take quite so many? I'm kind of uncomfortable with it. Photos. And because I don't want this video to be quite as long as the last full playthrough ending, we're gonna skip some more. Yeah. Hang on, I think you've got the wrong guy here. Just remember, if it's something we haven't seen before, I won't skip it. But we've seen all of this stuff before, so that's why I'm skipping around so much. Sorry if it's a little frustrating or something, or you want a little recap, but it takes too long otherwise. So I'll be back. Okay, this one, it was in Mr. Odson's files. I went to his house for something.
Something.
Yes. But Chance, why would you lie for me? Nope, I was somewhere else, but I can't prove it. Yep.
Somewhere else?
Yes, Gursky. And finally here, after Naoki and Aaron just went to go find a dead body that we don't know about yet, I'm really sorry about all the confusion. If there's anything I can do.
No, not really.
Skip. She's blushing with glasses on. She's cute. Skip. Close-up glasses. There you go. Skip. This one. I'm sorry, but he died.
What? You're kidding, right?
Skip. This option doesn't matter, so I'll just wait here. Leads her to the room. Skip.
Now would be a good time to tell me if you know anything.
And this one, it's just a hunch.
You sure have a lot of these hunches. Are you sure it's not related to that thing I saw you slip in your pocket at Mr. Otten's place?
You noticed.
I'm good at noticing.
Why didn't you say anything about it?
Actually, I think I just did.
Yeah, I can skip now, so skip. This one. I've gone through and talked to everybody already and went through all the dialogue trees. Though, gonna have to go to Gursky to get more dialogue trees, but anyway. This one, it looks like he was killed on purpose.
Murder?
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, it could have been an accident.
Not likely. He was a careful man and had no reason to be in the bell tower in the first place. This all seems very deliberate. I'm inclined to agree with your assessment.
She sighs and crosses her arms across her chest.
This is bad.
How so? She raises an eyebrow at me.
Because a great man just passed away in a tragic way?
Yep, I remember that, and I can skip, so skip. Okay, there's this option. Do you know why someone want Dr. Johansson dead?
So, you really don't think it was an accident then? Honestly, I don't know what to think. It's entirely possible that this was an accident.
Didn't you just say that wasn't because he was a careful man, or something?
Maybe a heart attack? His heart is still experimental after all.
He had a fake heart?
Partially. It was built from a reproduction of his own tissue, but some parts were manufactured.
Interesting. Wasn't Autzen Engineering working on something like that?
They're the ones funding most of our research. William Alton donated a lot of money to this school. I think he cared a lot for his alma mater. The heart was still in testing stages, but Dr. Johansson's heart was in such a bad state, he decided to take the risk. As strange as the circumstances of his death are, I'm hard-pressed to think of anyone who would want to kill him.
Okay, well, that's that, so skip. Where were you yesterday morning between 10 and 11?
Here at the lab. Why?
Just curious.
And by curious you mean I'm a suspect.
Everyone is.
That's fair. Random killings are more unlikely after all.
Yeah.
Well, I got here around 9.
Seen it? Yes, I have. That was it then. She knew she was a suspect. That was it, so skip. Okay, I got the printer, the note from the printer. And I have to ask Aki and Naoki to do it. And we're gonna skip a little bit. Could do that, but that's not what we want to do. We want to get them to do it. And this is the fun part.
Bagpiping. You know.
Aki, hold your hands up. And mine's playing a set of bagpipes. I'm not skipping this because this is fun.
Like the instrument?
I would have to look that up for you.
We'd appreciate it.
I'll be right back.
With a contented smile, Aki seats herself in a chair and leans back as if she's waiting for someone. The front door swings open and Naoki enters. He approaches the information desk timidly and waits for the bored-looking guy at the counter to notice him.
Excuse me. I seem to have misplaced my student ID.
Oh, yeah?
No, this is that part. I was wrong. That was the part where they totally screw with. Apparently I'm going to Gursky. Sure. What am I doing? I'm skipping. So I guess this time Gursky's gonna come with us anyway, or something? Because we're going to the entrance, pull out his notepad.
So, anything else I should know about this Nathan guy?
And we've already seen it. TA, get around, Jupiter, undervalued, more
There could be a
attention.
motive to steal the doctor's research and sell it off to a competitor who might value him more. And if Dr. Johansson reported him, that would be a permanent mark on his record. He wouldn't find work anywhere.
That's right, this happens no matter what. Where we go and, yeah, chat with this guy, and he sends us off to Aaron. Okay. So I'm gonna do that. Skip. And I guess here, we learned some new information from Jupiter, but I went back a couple lines just so we can get some more context. I'm sure you've heard the stories. Heroes of legend and lines of rose such have divine powers.
Dr. Johansson's hypothesis is this: that such people did exist, but their bloodlines eventually thinned out and their powers diminished.
You probably remember this happened in our first playthrough.
However, if we could find a sample of the genetic makeup of those extra humans, we could recreate those abilities today.
You wanted to make magic people? That doesn't sound scientific.
Too often, we think that the scientific advances of today give us reason to ignore ancient observation. But the people of old still charted the stars and built pyramids. They possess the ability to observe and record just as we do. We cannot dismiss the account of superhuman feats recorded across centuries and continents. Instead, we should seek to find the cause of these. Can we recreate or observe them ourselves? He doesn't believe in people with special powers. He believes it is a possibility that must be explored. Is it not scientific to attempt to observe what others have rather than dismiss them without testing?
Jupiter shrugs.
Of course, even this is little more than speculation. We don't have enough information to try to recreate anything.
Jupiter leans over her laptop and clicks through a few folders.
He has some old notes on it if you're interested. They're from his private collection, but it should be fine.
And this is the beginning of the new stuff. Because, I mean, you're probably wondering, well, what do the twins do that makes you special here? And again, like I said, we've pretty much, I guess, done everything in all the other playthroughs between talking with them about their powers and the whole figuring out the whole ID thing. As long as we do everything with them, I think it's just answer things a certain way, we'll get their ending. And this just has more extra content, so yeah. Before any of us can respond, the door bursts open and Detective Gursky strides in. He looks angry.
That's enough.
What? I'm sorry, officer. I didn't mean to do anything wrong.
What are you doing here?
Wondering the same of you. I thought I told you to talk to David.
We were going to. We just wanted to help Con out.
We may have found a lead. Dr. Johansson had another project he was working on.
Just because the guy's dead doesn't mean you can poke around in his stuff.
There's no harm in it. He always wanted his work made public when he passed away. He hoped that someone else would be able to pick it up where he left off.
So it's fine.
You're not even supposed to be here.
Gursky turns and forcefully herds us towards the hallway.
I'm taking you off this case.
Why?
Because you're not listening to me. I cut you guys a lot of slack, but you can't just do whatever you feel like. You're clearly not taking your work seriously, and I'm sending you back home right now.
Not taking it seriously? Really? Gursky motions for Jupiter to leave.
Everyone out. That includes you.
But I have work to do.
And I'm declaring this a crime scene.
He didn't die here.
But some of his work is here, and you've already said it might be evidence. It was a mistake for me to let it get this far.
Detective Gursky turns to Jupiter.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to lock down the building.
I can do that, but do you really think this is necessary?
I'm not taking any risks.
Jupiter leads us out the front door, pausing to flip a tiny switch in the door's frame before she exits.
Thank you, Miss Celadon. I'm sorry to take you from your work like this, but I promise it won't be long. As for the rest of you, go home.
But
No arguments. Get Lee May and go straight back to the apartment.
Aki glares at him.
I'll tell Schultz about this.
I don't care. Just go home.
Fine. Good luck solving this on your own.
Aki stalks off, and Naoki follows after her. With a final confused glance over my shoulder, I follow suit. I can feel Detective Gursky's anchor gaze boring into my back as we leave. As we near the main road, Aki slows to a halt.
I want to go back.
Are you kidding? Gursky's gonna be waiting right there.
Then we sneak in through the side.
Isn't the door locked?
Then we find a way around it.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like her.
Aki casually points over my shoulder. I turn around to see Lee May.
That was quick. We need to get inside. Think you can handle it?
Lee May scans the building and nods once. Aki grins.
I knew we could count on you.
We can always count on Lee May. We follow Lee May to the side of the biology building. Why are we here? And I think this is that final background that I needed that I didn't have. I had all the backgrounds except one. I think it's this one. Lee May points at the fire escape. Wait. What? Really?
It's a good choice. The fire escape isn't locked by the security system because it needs to be opened no matter what the circumstances are.
Lee May sizes up the ladder on the side of the building. It looks like the ladder's rested in place. With a graceful leap, Lee May grabs the bottom rung of the ladder and pulls on it. It groans for a brief moment before sliding down with an unhappy squeal. Whoa. Lee May climbs the ladder swiftly and pauses in front of the door. But it's still got a lock of some sort, doesn't it?
Sure, there's a manual one, but it shouldn't be a problem.
Expert lockpicker, here we go. Really? Lee May curls her fingers into space between the door and the frame and gives the door a sharp tug. The door swings open suddenly with the sound of a harsh metallic snap. Or Lee May's gonna do it. Is there something you guys aren't telling me?
Probably.
Aki nods at Lee May. I love her response. Yeah, probably.
See you at the back door.
Lee May nods and slips into the building silently. What just happened?
She opened the door, obviously. Let's go.
I follow Aki and Naoki to the lab back door. Aki glances around quickly before effecting a casual pose. She turns to me and frowns.
Don't look so suspicious.
We're kind of breaking in after Gursky told us not to.
He's our handler, not our boss. Besides, aren't you even a little bit curious about what all the secrecy has been about?
Well,
You have to admit, it is rather suspicious. He's stopping us from doing our job.
I don't want to admit it, but he's right. Gursky's attitude during this case has me on edge too. The door swings open and Lee May pokes her head out.
Good work.
Aki grabs the door's handle and swings it open with a flourish.
Alright, let's move fast. It won't take long for Miko to notice we're here.
The four of us hurry to the lab and Aki grabs the laptop sitting on the counter.
Bingo, she's still logged in.
Sweet. Isn't that a security risk?
There are so many locks on the outside, sometimes people get complacent about locking up what's inside.
It's true. She grins.
Especially if I distract them on the way out.
You were planning to look at the files all this time?
I didn't know if I'd get the chance, but I figured it couldn't hurt to prepare for the option.
Sometimes you scare me.
I know.
Aki scrolls through the files quickly, looking for something that might catch her eye.
See anything?
Wait, there!
What?
I point to one of the folders. The one called Dragon's Blood. It's the only old project listed under Johansson's name. Aki double-clicks on the folder, and a list of files flashes onto the screen. The four of us crowd around the computer as Aki opens the first file. This seems familiar. Sort of like the ending of the second game, that one, the SD card ending.
A project designed to unlock latent potential?
That's what Dr. Johansson was talking about.
Looks like it was more than a hypothesis. He didn't tell Jupiter the whole story. He's got dated records of the Dragon Emperor of China granting psychic abilities to others as a reward. It involved some sort of blood transfer, but the powers were unreliable. No two people would develop the same ability.
If they still had his blood today, imagine what they could do with it.
We have powers.
I think that's exactly what they were aiming for.
Naoki's eyes dart back and forth across the screen. They were trying to replicate Dragon's Blood?
I've seen these before.
Where?
The card that Kangai took from Mr. Otten's house had the same formulas, although Mr. Otten had more on his.
But that proves this was Otten's project. We found it!
It was more than talk. They actually tried to do it.
Did they ever manage to recreate this Dragon's Blood?
Doesn't look like it, but
Naoki catches his breath, and his hand falls limp. What? What's wrong?
they were looking into alternative solutions. Namely, altering people to produce children with dragon's blood.
Oh god.
Synthetic didn't work, so they looked for a way to make it naturally.
The first study was a failure. Of the 20 men they worked with, none had children who exhibited any traits of dragon's blood. Most of them passed away years later, all from causes eventually linked to the study.
So this is that whole pregnant women thing from the second game, I assume?
But in those years, they tried again. With women.
This is the so-called sleep study. Naoki swallows and shakes his head. The women they experimented on lost their ability to bear children completely.
How did you know?
Marissa was researching it when we met. She said one of the women...
What are you doing in here?
Detective Gursky stands in the doorway. I can't tell if he's angry or scared. He strides across the room and reaches for Aki's shoulder.
I told you that you're off the case.
Aki pulls away from him.
But we found Johansson's old research. This could be the key we need to find the killer.
He's trying to hide it from us because it involves us.
It's not important anymore. Naoki, close the computer and leave now.
Detective Gurky. Typo. Detective Gurky's voice is laced with anger. He's definitely not in the mood to debate, but Naoki sits frozen at the computer.
Chie.
Naoki's voice is barely above a whisper. He breathes in slowly and his chest shudders.
Chie Mizutani.
Naoki spins around to face her brother.
Mom?
Naoki bows his head and buries his face in his hands. Aki rushes to the computer and her gaze darts across the screen.
One success. Subject Chie Mizutani died during childbirth, but left 2 children. Both exhibit potential for dragon's blood.
Aki's face hardens and her eyes turn dark.
Success?
Her voice shakes, and I see her slowly clench and unclench her fists.
Aki.
Aki's eyes meet his, and I see a sudden light of recognition.
You knew!
I'm sorry,
You knew!
Mikolaj looks away from her and nods once.
I knew.
How?
I stumbled on the report in a place I wasn't supposed to be.
He doesn't bother to suppress a bitter smile.
You and I are both much too eager to learn things we're not supposed to know.
Aki doesn't respond.
After that, I was assigned to Edgewater, to your case. I'm the only one who knows what you two are.
Me too.
And what exactly are we?
Children unfairly robbed of a parent, adults thrust into a world without a lifeline, human beings.
Aki doesn't make any effort to hide the bitterness in her voice.
Why didn't you tell us?
I wasn't allowed to. They would have taken me away if I did. I didn't...
Gursky stops and runs his fingers through his hair. as he searches for the right words.
I didn't like the thought of someone else watching you.
We still deserve to know! We could have kept it a secret! Why didn't you trust us?
Because I don't know.
You had no right!
I had no choice.
No.
Naoki stands and faces Detective Gursky. His eyes are hardened.
You had a choice and you chose not to. Did you think you were protecting us? Did you think we'd feel better spending life thinking our mother died because of us?
But she didn't.
He hurt us!
Naoki lets out a scream, and his face twists up in a mixture of fury and guilt.
He hurt us and we thought we deserved it.
His body shakes, and he takes a deep breath to steady his voice.
I did nothing, because I thought I deserved it.
Aki exhales slowly and looks Gursky in the eye.
Leave!
I can't let you stay here.
Gursky takes a step towards Aki, but Lee Mei intercepts.
No.
Please, I can explain.
Now's really not the time. I stand beside Lee Mei and look Gursky in the eyes. You're going to make it worse if you stay. With a frustrated scowl, Detective Gursky turns and walks to the doorway. He pauses at the door and whispers under his breath.
It wasn't supposed to happen this way.
As soon as he shuts the door, Aki's hands relax. A series of red marks appear on the palm of her hand, perfectly matching the curve of her nails. Lee Mei and I stand, unmoving. Neither of us is sure what to say. I open my mouth, but no words come out. Should I even say anything at all? As if sharing the same mind, Aki and Naoki sink to the floor in a single motion. Aki wraps a comforting arm over Naoki's shoulder with a practiced ease. He mirrors the gesture, and the two sob quietly into each other's shoulders. In the harsh glare of the artificial lighting, they look more real and honest than I've ever seen them. The girl, forced to grow up too soon, desperately trying to protect the innocence of a boy plagued by demons. The brother and sister, lost in an ocean with only the other to cling to. Something I understand. I kneel beside them and place a hand on each of their shoulders. Lee Mei joins me and touches each of them gently on the back. You're not alone anymore. Neither responds, but they don't have to. We all understand. The four of us stay on the cold floor, silent, but together. Broken, but not alone. I liked it. It was one of those endings that helped us get close, our just little tight group of power users. We were able to get much closer to each other, and that's the one thing I'm looking for in these games. Something that helps me enjoy the people I'm with. Anyway. Okay, now I get to go to the gallery. Sieges of 2. 6 more. Backgrounds. Yep, that was the final one. And the extras. Gursky's glasses on. Yep, that's what I got for getting that ending. Gursky now has glasses. Yeah. That was the twins ending for Yousei. And I'll be back with the true end real soon. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.